Alright guys, a little bit of a Sheldon update primarily here. Haven't put anything out for a while on anything. Several reasons for that. Been taking a break as part of it, but we've been traveling, been doing stuff here in the shop, been working on quite a bit of pattern making, been working on Atlas parts and stuff. I've just been devoting my time to that. So we'll see how I balance that as time goes on. Like I say, I've got a couple things going on that need to be done. Atlas updates very quickly before we get into this. I just loaded more internal shaper tool holders for the Atlas lathe onto the website. Been a change to those. I primarily, in the past, I've always just bead blasted those, oiled them up, and sent them out. Now I've taken this last batch, I've run through the bluing tanks. I had to run bluing for parts for this Sheldon anyway, so we did those tool holders, internal tool holders, and got all of the 6-inch steel lathe vice jaws that I had machined out. I got them all blued and packaged up, so they're out of the way. I don't have to worry about them. One of the other projects going on has been the drive dog that fits on the Atlas index centers for the mill. This is an original one. They were originally cast iron. My rendition of them is going to be out of aluminum, and these haven't been painted yet. I've got 2 or 3 of these ready to be painted up. I'll get them painted up, but that's going to be my rendition. They'll be on the website soon. I had a request for these. I still got to put the set screws in them that go with them. I had a request for these as the main reason that's prompted these. And in aluminum, I think they're fine. They're not anything that's loaded under motion. You know, they're used to index up in the head, then the head gets locked itself. So these are just for the initial indexing is the only thing these are used for. So there's not really any stress on them. But anyway, that's what those are going to be like. So they'll be on the website here in the next few days. So, Sheldon update, and we've been working on the apron. So let me bring you down here so you've got a little bit better view maybe. Okay, hopefully I've got that pretty well in frame. The rest of the headstock's pretty much done, other than just doing adjustment on them once we get it up and running. I still got to deal with oilers. We need a couple of oilers here, and we're missing some oilers that this didn't have. Now the parts diagrams, I've worked off of a couple of different parts diagrams for this lathe, and nothing matches it entirely. But the reason I'm showing this is in case somebody's reassembling one of these, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier, because there can be some confusion. I've had to rework this a few times or reassemble it a few times to get it right. So this is what it looks like from the front. Hand wheels, and these parts are not, well, the hand wheel's the only thing that's not permanently affixed here for this. The rest of them are here, are where they're going to go, with the exception of adding the oilers on the front of this apron now. So when we look at it from behind, when the shafts go back together, you want to install this shaft. Now I put new bushings here in the front and in the back, and I still got to build and install the bushings that go for the lead screw on the back of this apron. But I got a little bit of flash rust going on here that we'll take care of when we oil it up. Anyway, the things you want to do when you assemble this, or the order of assembly, so that you don't have to disassemble it again, is you want to install this shaft and lever in here, and you can get those set through, and then you want to put your selector here, install it, and then if you've taken it out, then you're going to install this guide bushing, or this collar. It's a long piece that goes in and is indexed up correctly. So and that's what holds I guess we could take this off. That's what holds the friction clutch in. So this collar comes all the way through, and then this part slides over the top of it, and it will index through positions with your lever on the front. So then the clutch goes in here, or this portion of the clutch goes in, and the nut. Now, on the front of this, on one of the diagrams that I'm looking at, it shows a thrust washer on here, between here and here. or I suppose potentially it could be inside and here. Well, it would have to be inside and here. Neither of my machines had them. Now, this one was already disassembled, I think, at this point on the Apron. I don't think it was completely assembled anyway. But my machine has never had a thrust washer in there as far as I know. So I don't know that it's necessary. I'll revisit that when I get closer to that point in time. But anyway, from the back, once you get it to this point, the engagement here goes so that your handle's up. Now there's a place for a roll pin in the handle itself on the outside, for a tapered pin. This lever did not have that. It's just got a set screw through the bottom. So when I look at it here, there's room for a taper pin to go all the way through. This was never drilled for it, but there is a set screw on the bottom. This one was already pre-drilled or had a taper pin in it, but there's also a set screw on the bottom. So I've just reassembled it with the set screw on the bottom, and I think it will be fine. If I have to, I can go back and readdress that. Anyway, with your handle in this up position, this piece goes this way with this pin on the bottom, and that's for your half nuts to engage in. So you get it to this point. Once this is in, the next thing that's going to go in is going to be this gear, and it will slide on this shaft just like this and engage with that screw. The next gear is going to be this gear. It's going to go on there just like that so that it can engage, the smaller gear can engage here, and it also engages here. And then this one goes in. So that's order of assembly. And that's pretty much all there is to it. But these gears are pretty self-explanatory as how they go. The thing that can screw you up is this lever right here, and it goes with the notch up. So once you get that lever installed, why then you're good. As long as you get that lever right and get this engaged in the right orientation, those are the main bugaboos to the whole thing. And then they'll go like that. Your half nuts go in. Of course, the one with the collar goes on the top and engages in that slot. And engages in that slot. There we go. And this one, the pin engages in the lower slot and sets in there like that. So there's your half nuts, if you get them. There's also a 1/4-inch detent ball with a spring, and then this has got a 5/16 set screw in it. They show 1/4-inch set screw on the parts diagram, but this one actually has a 5/16. So that's what adds tension to this handle. So, and the only reason I ran these through the bluing tanks is the stuff that shows. I wanted on the outside to look like it was done that way. I blew part of these handles like this one because it was separate from the lever itself, or came separate from the lever itself easily. The ones that were fixed permanently in there, like this one and this one, I went ahead and just left them and polished them up. So that's the reason part of them are polished and part of them aren't. So that's pretty much everything internally that needs to be done. I can go ahead and assemble this portion of it. And I'm going to put a little gasket. Now, some guys have taken and in one corner or both corners, they drilled and put a plug in the bottom, with the idea being that if crap gets in there, they can take that plug out and it will drain out. I don't know that that's really a good idea. I don't know if there's anything wrong with doing that, but you don't gain anything, because anything that's going to settle out in there is going to settle in the bottom, and if it's big enough to create a problem, why, it's not going to come out a drain plug anyway, or a drain hole anyway. So if a little bit of oil gets in there, it's not going to hurt a thing. I'm not gonna worry about doing it. I'm just using a little liquid gasket along the edges of this to kind of seal it. Don't know that that's necessary either, but that's what I'm going to do. So that can go in there just like that, and we'll clean up our mess later on. And everything in here, I'm not going to add any grease or any oil yet. When I assemble it and get ready to run it, or as I'm prepping it, why then I'll go ahead and lube everything up there. There we go. And I still have little bits and bobs and pieces to go together with this. This has to be out when you put the back half on. Alignment-wise, once you've got everything in there, the bushing has to line up with your shaft going on there. When you redo your bushings here, be sure and clean out your holes and drill them through. This one drills clear from the top down through, creates the hole through there. Same way on the front, it drills through, actually it drills through from the front edge. But then there's also a cross hole that drills through starting on this side, and it drills clear into here and oils that one as well. And there's an oiler that goes on there. Now my other lathe didn't have the oiler out here on this end either. So hopefully this is where you can see it a little bit anyway of what's going on. We'll turn it around when we get it set in place. There's a couple of guide pins there to hold it in place once we get that far. There we go. Together just like that, and we'll just add a couple of screws in here, just finger tight, just to hold everything together. I think these are the proper screws for this. So half nuts open and close that way. There's the oil hole. That's going to take an oiler on this end. And everything else is pretty much self-explanatory, I think. This goes on here. Like I say, I've got to fit and install my bushings for the lead screw. And I've still got to build my nut and washer to go on the front. Actually, I believe it just needs a nut is all that goes on there. And that will engage our clutch back and forth. So, and I've got to investigate further and decide if I really do need a thrust bearing in there or not, thrust washer there. Anyway, quite a bit of progress. So I have to, I could fix this hand wheel permanently, but I didn't paint the outer shaft at the back. I left it, I was thinking it rode inside a surface and it doesn't. So oilers go here, here, here I believe, and here. And we've already got the oiler installed there, down here, and the one here on the selector. Come on. There we go. We've already got that oiler installed. Like I say, just be sure and drill into your new bushings, both front and rear. That's the way it goes together. So that's a little bit of an update. So hopefully you find that a little bit interesting. Hopefully you find it useful. But I'm pretty happy. Things are coming along. Everything's, like I say, everything's pretty well done in the headstock. I built the new washers and nuts and spacers that I needed for the gearing on this end. So it's just going to be final fitting on there. So next thing, once I finish up bushings for this and fit it to the lead screw, will probably be start on the apron. So we're getting pretty close. Once I get that done, we'll probably start working on electronics for this. Motor's already mounted with new belts on. That's all ready to go. Got wiring up to wherever the control box will be. That wiring's back here someplace. Here's the wiring that will come up into a control box. Guess I've got you out of frame there. Anyway, that's where we're at. So hopefully you find that a little bit useful. Comment suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below, guys. And thanks for taking the time to watch.